Hello, everyone. Welcome to Daily Fantasy 5 for this Thursday, May 30th. This is episode number 100, and we are bringing you the 5 things you need to know every day in the world of fantasy sports. Today, our biggest news is the game one of the NBA Finals is finally starting tonight. Super awesome, but we have some more baseball news to get to first. We'll do that in just a moment after we get a word from our sponsor, www.mathradio.com, where you can pick up an online math course for as little as $9.99 for your kids ages 7 through 17 to help them get better grades, score higher on exams, and even get into college. Pick up an online math course for as little as one low price of $9.99 for lifetime access. This is a no-brainer. Go to www.mathradio.com. All right, everybody. So let's get started with the baseball news before we move over to some basketball, some football, and then we'll finish up with the NBA Finals. We have some betting news and some strategies for single game fantasy on FanDuel tonight. So yesterday we talked about the Astros injuries. Carlos Correra is a lot more seriously injured than we first thought. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with fractured ribs that he says he got during a massage. So the Astros shortstop, much worse than expected or reported yesterday. This season he's been batting .295 with 11 home runs and 35 RBIs. So you need to look somewhere else for your shortstop needs. In the NBA, Anthony Davis sat down yesterday with David Griffin to talk about his future there. Anthony Davis is going to be a monster no matter where he is, as long as he's not unhappy in New Orleans. So what Anthony Davis dynasty owners need to see, or in a redraft format, is either Anthony Davis to be happy in New Orleans or to have him be traded somewhere else right now. So that's the big thing, because I could see them saying, you know what, just give us a month or two, give us until Christmas, play with Zion, see how you like it. If you love it, sign the contract and be a New Orleans Pelicans for the rest of your career. If not, we will trade you by Christmas. So I can see that happening. And in that case, I think Anthony Davis plays and he's productive. Either he stays with the Pelicans or he goes. What we just don't want to see is a redux of last year where he's only playing 20 minutes a night. That was terrible for fantasy owners. It completely crushed his value. So I think this is a step in the right direction for Anthony Davis owners. All right, moving on. We have a quick story out of the NFL. The Ravens owner says Lamar Jackson will run less this year. This is bad news for fantasy owners because Lamar Jackson's pretty much only value came on the ground, as he was rushing for over 100 yards per game. And if you considered him like a running back who occasionally throws some passes, then you got great value out of that spot. He's not a pocket passer. He's not a guy who's going to get it done for you through the air. So if he's not getting you, 50-plus yards on the ground every game, that is going to be a problem for Lamar Jackson owners. That would make me nervous heading into a redraft or in a dynasty league. Okay, let's get to the Big Apple today. What everybody's talking about is the first game of the NBA Finals. Golden State Warriors are on the road at Toronto. Toronto is a 1.5-point favorite. This game tips off at 9 o'clock, and the over-under is 213.5. Series prices. Golden State is the heavy favorite at minus 270. You can get Toronto at plus 225. So here's my first tip. If you think Toronto is going to win the NBA Finals, don't bet Toronto. Bet Kawhi Leonard to win the MVP, because if Toronto wins this series, it's going to be because of Kawhi Leonard, and you can get plus 260 on Kawhi, where you can only get plus 225 on Toronto. So if you think Toronto's going to win, go ahead and take Kawhi Leonard for MVP. You get better odds that way. All right, what else do we have on the betting line? I like two bets. I don't think Toronto's going to win, so I'm not taking that bet. I'm going to put 1 unit on Klay Thompson to be the MVP of the finals and 1 unit on Draymond Green to be the MVP. They're both plus 1,000, right? Meaning you bet 100, you win 1,000. I like Steph Curry, but two things make me leery of betting on Steph. First of all, he's minus 160, so there's no value in betting for Steph Curry. The second thing is they could just put Kawhi Leonard on Steph Curry and just try to take him out of the series. I think it's the smartest thing to do. Obviously, I'm not a basketball coach. I don't really know. But I think that trying to just take Steph Curry out of this series is the best option Toronto has to win, right? But because I think they will go with that strategy, I like Klay Thompson or Draymond Green to be the MVP. So give me plus 1,000 on both of them. So that's 2 units I'm going to bet there. I'm also going to put 1 unit on the Golden State sweep. That is plus 500. All right. So I like the Golden State to sweep. Give me 1 unit there. And I also like 1 unit on both Draymond and Clay. Okay. If Golden State loses this first game, that means that bet is out the window. But right now, Golden State is minus 270 for the series. That price should drop dramatically if they lose the first game. So then I will go ahead and swoop in and take whatever number that is. Maybe it's minus 180, minus 190, something like that. I'll go ahead and take Golden State minus the 190 if that happens. But I think Golden State is going to win tonight. You could just take Golden State plus the 1.5. That's a good option as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that as well. We'll put 1 unit on Golden State plus 1.5. All right, so for those of you keeping track at home, I'm taking Golden State plus 1.5 tonight. I'm taking Clay and Draymond at plus 1,000 for MVP, 1 unit each. And I'm taking the sweep for Golden State at plus 500. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention, if you are thinking Toronto is going to win the series, if you like Toronto in 7, that would mean they would win in game 7 at home. That is worth plus 450. So I think that's an option. I don't think anyone thinks Toronto is going to sweep the series. So if you like Toronto and you think they're going to win at home in game 7, you're going to get plus 450 for your money there. So those basically the gambling options that are out there right now. Again, I'm taking Golden State plus 1.5. We're taking Clay and Draymond plus 1,000 and Golden State for the sweep plus 500. All right. So fantasy implications. Tonight, I'm going with a single game lineup on FanDuel. I'm taking Leonard as my MVP. I'm not starting Steph. Normally, I like to start my 2 All-Stars, but I'm going to skip Steph, and I'm going to put in Draymond Green instead. Draymond Green is going to be my star. Leonard is my MVP. I don't think they have anybody to stop Leonard. And then I'm going to go with Gasol as my pro. Now, I picked Gasol because he should have a monster rebounding game. He's got to be effective if Toronto has any chance at all. So I like him as my third spot there. I'm going to go with Kevin Looney on the Golden State Warriors as my first utility player. I also take Van Fleet and hope his hot shooting continues against the Golden State Warriors. So again, I'm going with Leonard, Green, Gasol, Looney, and Van Fleet in that order. I think there's $500 left over, but that's not bad for my fantasy option tonight. That is everything. We'll be back tomorrow to recap what happened. We'll talk baseball, football, any other basketball news. A couple other things. KD is out tonight. He's been ruled out, and Cousins is still questionable. So I don't know if Cousins is going to play. He's only running at 6,000 right now. So if you want to take a chance and make a flyer with a lineup with Boogie Cousins in it, that's fine. He's only costing 6,000, but he's still questionable tonight. There's no word as of right now if he's playing tonight or not. All right, that's it. We will see you tomorrow for the Daily Fantasy 5. Visit mathradio.com. Subscribe and like this channel, and please give us a 5-star rating and a review over on iTunes. See you tomorrow. Bye.